Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to the market close. We're running about a minute early. But that's okay. I was just sitting here and I was just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So we're starting a minute early. I don't care. I don't care. So the big challenge today is the bell. As you guys know, the last show I set a new mountain finance record. I was 10 minutes late with the bell. So, well, I'm going to try. I will not be 10 minutes late today. But then again, on Friday, I said I was not going to be late. I swore I would not be late, but I was. I sure was. So, we're going to see how that goes. All right. Well, welcome to Monday. Oh, a red day. I mean, typically Mondays suck. Garfield has made a career out of making fun of Mondays. So, yeah, today's kind of not the best day. Red day. Maybe if you're looking for some deals, you might have found some stuff. Air Canada back under $19 again. So overall, yeah, an interesting week. We're also, of course, getting ready in the middle of the week on the 10th. We will be having the Bank of Canada rate decision, and no surprise, there is not going to be a rate cut. The odds, well, the odds are pretty low. I think, yeah, I was going to make an analogy, but I don't even think that it needs it. I don't think it needs it. The economy is just a little bit too strong. So I think the pause will basically stay in a pause. So maybe we'll see a rate cut in 2026, but we're not going to see another one in 2025. Not unless something crazy happens. But yeah, so that's kind of one of the things that has been dogging the Canadian market today. We've also, other couple drivers, we got oil. Oil's kind of retreated a little bit. So the energy sector retreating, gold and non-energy minerals, a little bit of a pullback on that as well. So between all of that, throw in tax loss harvesting, because we're in December, it's happening, and you got a red market. Maybe tomorrow we'll see a bit of a recovery, but for today, we're gonna live with the red. So I think it's time for us to actually take a gander at this market. Let me pull it up here. Bang, boom, here it is. So yeah, what a slide. What a slide underneath that blue line. Of course, that blue line, guys, that's where we left last month. So if we want a red month, we need to get above it. And right now we're in the red, and we're not moving in the right direction. We don't even have right now, it seems to be slowing down. Like each of these candles is getting smaller as we go. That could be a good sign for tomorrow. It could definitely be a good sign for tomorrow. But it also means that if you held off through the day, you're probably getting your better deals. You're probably getting your better deals now than perhaps this morning. So what can I say? So currently we are down 0.44% into that red. South of the border, it's kind of the same story. The S&P 500, it is now moved below the blue line. It is also, it's down 0.48. Technology also moving down, but they're above the blue line, so they're technically still in a green December. So that's not too shabby at all. Dow Jones, same idea. Those industrial are just below the blue line. A little bit of a red day, down 0.54% today. The Russell is actually well above the blue line. These are the little caps. They're like that train that says, I think I can, and they're making it above. Now, mind you, they're only 0.02 into the green, so it wouldn't, well, 0.03 now, but it wouldn't take much by the end of the day for them to fall underneath. Certainly wouldn't. Gold today down, not a lot. It's only down 0.1%, but nonetheless, that is down. Silver down a little bit as well. Copper kind of flat. They are technically up right now, 0.01, but yeah, I'd say flat. Here's one of the big drivers. Oil right now down 1.81%. Now crypto's having mostly a flat day. We are currently in the green, at least for Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin has been mostly flat. So you know, we spent a good part of the day coming down, finishing off this drop here, and then we got a little bit of a movement back to the upside. Ethereum doing a little bit better, up 2.26%. All right, heat map time. And we can use the heat map here because we still are in the grips of the cold here right now. The wind chill, minus 20. But looking at the heat map, we got the banks doing okay. Royal Bank's up a full 2.47. TD's up 2%. CIBC having a pretty good day, up a full 4%. National Bank up 2%. BMO, not so much. BMO's flat. They are down 0.04. Scotiabank also kind of flat, although on the upside 0.15. So what can I say? Whew. Some of the big losers, I guess, Imperial Oil, they're down a full 2.23%. Rogers is also having a pretty bad day. They're down a full 2%, while both Bell and Telus are actually up a wee bit. All right, let's go to the US and the United States. Oh boy. A lot more. It looks a lot worse. It does look a lot worse. Statistically, it's not a lot worse, but it looks a lot worse. We got most of technology having a pretty rough day. Google having a rough day. Meta. So Google down 2.8, Meta down a full percent, Netflix down 3.42%. Now, the whole purchasing of the WB, there's some drama going on there. Paramount hasn't stepped down and said, okay, we accept that we lost. They made a cash offer for everything. So we'll have to see if that drama changes a little bit. Maybe Paramount might end up with the WB yet. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that is all going to come out in the wash. That's a good word for it. Tesla also having a big down day. They're down 3.71%. Eli Lilly down a little bit, 1.25. Broadcom, though, another tech company that's doing okay. And of course, over in crypto, a little bit of, well, basically, so I will tell you right now, this heat map, it's using, basically it uses one time zone. It uses, I believe it's the prime meridian. But so from that perspective, Bitcoin is down slightly, Ethereum down a little bit. XRP doing okay. They're more flat than anything else. But, well, we do have a tradition here, and that is I like to pick on an altcoin. And since Bitcoin was technically just in the red, we'll grab a green one today. So we'll grab some coin I've never heard of, and we'll make fun of it. It's a thing. There's a lesson behind it. It's not like we're bullying altcoins. Here we go. We got orange. Oh boy. Orange, you glad I picked this one? Oh, that was bad. But yeah, this is orange. I don't know what it's about. Other than, I don't know, Donald Trump's makeup. I don't know. It's a coin. We don't know what it does. It is up today. It's actually worth 0.6 of a penny. 0.6 of a penny. So don't know what it does. Honestly, I don't really care. The reason I come in here is just to sort of illustrate. There's about 15,000 of these coins. Some of them have fun names, and I will tell you right now, I had no idea what I was clicking on. None. Zero. Zilch. So, yeah, this is just... it's just one of these, a lot of times, like sometimes, and guys, sometimes I come up with crafty little jokes about the name. So it might almost appear like I planned to go to this one, but no, it's called improv. It's improv, 100% improv. Anyway, the reason I call these guys crap coins is that it's like going to the casino, game of craps. You throw the dice, you hope to win, but we all know that the odds are not in your favor. The house always wins. Be careful with these coins. If whatever reason, if maybe orange has a function, maybe 5 years from now, orange will be as big as Ethereum. Yeah, it's not, but maybe. Here's the thing, read the white paper, make sure you know what they're doing, what that coin is about, make sure it makes sense to you before you put any money into it. Or, or if you want to make money in crypto, or you want to invest in crypto, or you want exposure to crypto, stick to your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your XRP, your Solana, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. Even the Dogecoin. All right, and we got 5 minutes to the bell, so I haven't forgotten about it. But now here is where things get dangerous. Here's where things get dangerous. I'm coming back to the chat. And you guys are very good at distracting me. Very, very good. Or maybe I could say I'm very good at letting myself get distracted. But I'm paying attention today. All right, Brian is in first with a good afternoon, everyone. Markets are struggling. Hope they come back at the end of the day. I think it's going to slow down by the end of the day, but I don't know if we're going to see any recovery. It's not looking the best. It's not looking the best, Brian. Stan is in the house with a good afternoon, all. And we got Jordan, our favorite glassmaker, in here with a good old hello. And Scratch in the house. Good afternoon, everyone. Not logging into my accounts today. I love what Scratch just said. And you know what? Sometimes if you're not into buying, if you're not looking to buy, or you don't even have money to buy, and you got a red day like this, sometimes it just is like, okay, let's just let's just forget about the market today. We'll figure out what's going on during the market close. But yeah, or heck, if the market's really bugging you that much, don't even watch the market close. There's always a rerun of Three's Company on somewhere. We all can use a good laugh from time to time. Good vibes. It says bonjour, and Scratch bonjour right back. All right, Roku in the building. Afternoon, all. Did I win a membership? So those of you who were here yesterday, there was a big. Well, there was a 5. There was a 5 gifted memberships, and Roku came in right at the end of the announcing of the 5 gifted memberships, and I swear Roku won, but Roku won last week, so you can't win a membership if you've already got one. So, but yeah, a little bit of confusion yesterday, but it was all good. And even Roku thought he won. So, what can I say? Curious QQ me. Good afternoon, everyone. And I had to look again. We have 2.5 minutes. Claude says, hello, wait, what odds are that low? Rate cuts or the bell in time? There's a better chance of the bell being on time today because I am laser focused. I am so laser focused that cats are chasing my laser focus. It's laser focus for sure. Mary's in the house with a hello all, and of course, guys, Mary is the official captain of the like button. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, please do me a solid and hit that like button. What it does is it shows that you're enjoying the show, and the algorithm looks at it and says, gosh darn it, they're enjoying the show. I'm going to show it to more people. So that works. If you're not enjoying the show, there's also a dislike button if you really need it. Although I will tell you guys, you want to know a secret about the dislike button? It also was a good thing. The algorithm will look at that, and it doesn't care if it's a positive or a negative emotion. It's an emotion, and that will also stimulate the algorithm to push things out. So, so anytime you do have a show that you're watching and you don't like it, and you don't want it to get pushed out, do nothing. Do nothing. That's the worst thing. that you can do to a YouTuber. Anyway, um, oh gosh, I started to get distracted, but luckily that was a short distraction. We've got 40 seconds left. Scott is in. Oh, and I didn't have a coffee. Let me have my coffee first. Mmm, so good. Scott is in the house. Happy Red Monday, everybody. And we got Rory here with 25 seconds left till the bell, saying, hey there, my HND natural gas inverse did well. Got in on Friday at 491, out today at 553. I'll take it. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. It's a profit. All right, we've got 9 seconds to the bell, so you know I'm not missing it. When I've got it down to the second, guys, it's time. And there we go. The market's closed. I got it on time. I'm proud of myself. My goal today, not today, but my goal this week is to get it on time every day we have a stream. So we are doing, by the way, we're doing the Financial Express through December. So that means we can potentially have a market close on every single market day. Obviously, if the market's closed, we won't have a market close because, well, there's no bell to ring. There's nothing to look at. So that, anyway, that's a Sunday, right? We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so I did open, normally today I would say I would open it up, you guys, the chance to win for tomorrow. So, that's what we normally would do, but I opened it up yesterday. Because, folks wanted it, I guess. And that's where that 5 gifted subs came in. So yeah, so tomorrow's already done. And then we have our normal Wednesday one. So on Wednesday, there'll be the opportunity to add Thursday. So that's what we'll do. Unless one of you comes in and says, please let me just do it all now. And I'll be like, okay, because I'm weak like that. But anyway, we're good right now up till Wednesday. We'll see how this week goes. I gotta say, I'm enjoying doing these. It's kind of fun. It's like we got continuity. I love it. Brian, let's see. What does Brian have to say? Let's see. I had $500 from dividends on Friday that I spent on Sixy and CPCC today. I'll keep nickel and diming into these two for a while. Might just go QQQI with my U.S. dividends. Interesting. It's actually interesting. So I got a referral, a Wealthsimple referral. So whenever one of you guys signs up to Wealthsimple, you guys get like $25, and so do I. I'll actually give you the link in case you're like, but how do I do that? How do I sign up to Wealthsimple? Pretty simple. I just dropped the link there in the chat. So anyway, that's $25. Sixy is just over 25, I think, today with that red market. So that 25 turned into almost a full share of Sixy. I went with fractional. I said, buy it all. So that's over in Wealthsimple, actually. That's where I keep, because that's, I just leave it there. All right, Tom is in the house with a hi all. And let's see, Rory bought a handful of EIT today. So Canoe EIT, that's a nice income fund. Actually, if you go back as far as the pandemic, that used to be one of the top income funds that were out there. Of course, now we've got so many covered calls and so many other options. But Canoe's been that reliable old dog for a long time, for sure. All right, we got Tim in the house. Let's see, just bought 24 shares of Biggie from Evolve, up to 214 shares. Am now using my MSTE distributions to buy more Evolve Biggie moving forward. Nice. Now, and I mentioned yesterday that I wasn't going to tell you what tomorrow's video was going to be until today. And I'll tell you why, because I wasn't 100% sure. It really comes down to, I did that interview with 9 Point. And it's gone over to their compliance to make sure that their guys didn't say anything they weren't supposed to. So once I get it back from that, that'll be, that'll get put into the next slot. So I'm hoping to have it back for Friday, but I wasn't 100% sure how quick they're going to be. So I thought, well, if they give it back to me today, I will put it out tomorrow, but I haven't gotten it back yet. And quite literally, once I got the next video done, and I need to drop it for the channel members, because the channel members all get to see everything one day in advance. So the channel members are already starting to watch tomorrow's video. But I said I would tell you guys what it is today. So it was a great idea. And it's not even my idea. Actually, it was Jill's idea. She was saying, you should do a top ETF of 2025 video. And I was sitting there, I'm saying, yeah, that's a good idea. But I was sitting there and I was just like, well, what do I want to do? And then it dawned on me. As you guys know, I love Blossom. And there is a feature over in Blossom that basically tells me the top stocks and the top ETFs that Blossom users have bought. And I'm like, you know what? That's an idea. So I took the top seven Blossom income ETFs according to Blossom, the ones that people have bought. So basically, these are the ones that were added to their portfolios that are attached to Blossom, and putting them to the test. Gonna see, basically looking at, is the number one bought? Is it actually the number one total return? We're going to find that out tomorrow. And the community members, like I said, you guys may already know the answer if you've already watched it. So anyway, yeah, that's what we got coming up tomorrow. And it's cool. And there's a scene, and I'm going to tell you guys about it because I just love it. There's a scene I filmed that I'm like, this worked really, really well. So you know what? Let me give you the visual. Here. We're going to come over here. We're going to head over to Blossom. This is what we need to see right here. So you see my little head up here. So I actually turned this into a background for a little part of the video, and I put my talking circle, sort of like what I'm in now. I aligned it perfectly with this, so I have a talking circle in my profile. I just thought, I don't know why. Maybe I'm just a geek, but I was very excited by that. So anyway, you'll get to see that. You'll get to see that tomorrow. Good old Blossom. All right, let's go big screen for a bit. All right, and we've got Elaine, and let's see. Was waiting for the live to start and haven't noticed my phone turned off. Good evening, all. Oh wow. Yeah, actually, I actually saw a comment earlier from Elaine on one of the videos. I love comments, always love comments. Guys, I try, and I will say, I try to answer every comment. Sometimes I get behind, depending on how busy the comments get. And sometimes, guys, sometimes YouTube grabs your comment and throws them in my spam folder. And I don't check my spam folder that often. I go in every so often because normally all that's in there is posts from people who are talking about how Harvey Humpscruncher over on Telegram is making everybody rich and how you got to reach out to them. Well, don't, because it's a scam. It's a scam. So all of that gets picked up by a lot of it, most of it now. Before, not that many would get picked up, but now YouTube is getting really good at that and pulling a lot of that over there. So sometimes you get caught up in the mix there, and I can't even tell you why. There is one of my regular viewers, Nine. For some reason, Nine's posts were all going over there, and I was looking at them, and there's nothing that could be misconstrued. I just thought maybe YouTube didn't like Nine's handle. I just don't know. Haven't figured it out. Now, I will tell you things that will get you over there. So you know how when you go with a stock, and let's say you want to quote TELUS, you might put T.to. Well, that dot, as soon as it sees that dot, it thinks you're trying to link something. And so it will it will throw you over there if you do something like that. I think if you also use curse words, it might throw you over there as well. So anyway, all of that. And sometimes I've seen times and I have no idea like why. Sometimes it doesn't even move you to my spam folder so I can try to pull you out of it. Sometimes it just deletes you. I've seen it a couple times where I'll get the email notification and I'll see the comment in my emails, but that comment doesn't exist anywhere. I have no access to it, and I've got no way to reply to let the person know that, it's not that I don't want to reply to you, it's that I can't reply to you. Anyway, I went on that little that little tangent. I go on that tangent, guys, probably every 6 months. Let's move on. Well, Hippo, I picked up some candy this morning. Nice, nice. Of course, if you were feeling a little strange, you might have picked up some uncanny this. Anyway, I am just in a jokey mood today, guys. I'm in a jokey mood. I don't know why. Claude, I bought bank from my dips from Friday. Nice. Go rug pull. That's probably in reference to orange. All right, the Garfield coin on a Monday special. There we go. Celestica, having a good day. Oh, let's take a look. I did not notice, but let's just jump on over there. Whoops, that's the wrong place. But it does show us the Russell slipped back into the red. So now there's still about 5 minutes left of data coming in here because these are delayed because I'm not using the paid version. But let me jump over here to our chart and let's see here. Celestica, where are you? I think this is Celestica here. There we are. So yeah, Celestica up 5% today. That's not too shabby. Yeah, I can see a little bit of movement up here. They're not yet back at their all-time high. So their all-time high up in here at 497, but you never know. All right. Ian says, might sell some Utes in my non-registered at a loss and use the money to buy ENCL in my TFSA or something else come January 1st or wait 30 days and rebuy Utes in the TFSA. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I assume you're going to use that as as some tax loss harvesting. That's what it sounds like to me. Gursky's in the house with a hello. And it might be a good time to get back into Ethi. Yeah. So Ethi, guys, that is that's the purpose. Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, Ethereum yield ETF. So they do use covered calls on it. And I know they applied. I know they applied for BTCHY. I think they also applied for Ethi to add leverage to it. So I haven't yet heard if that's going to become official, but you know what, guys? Let's find out. We got the internet here. We can find out anything, right? We'll just go to Google. Let's go Ethi, ETF, and purpose. There we go. That should bring them up. All right. Purpose and there we go. All right. So let me just see. I just want Ethi itself. Here it is. Purpose Ether yield. Right here. Let's pull this up. Now, before they actually... Oh, this is the Yahoo Finance. That's not where I wanted to go. All right, I'm just going to go into Purpose Investments. I should have just went into Purpose Investments right from the beginning. All right. Funds. Yes, I accept your cookies. All right. No, I want... I'll just click on their thing here. Let's just avoid hunting for it. Here we are. All right. Purpose announces its intent. Yeah. So we still have the intent. So I don't think it's happened yet, but this is what I was talking about. So changes. Let's see. Introduction of staking for Purpose Ether ETF. Oh, okay. Maybe. All right, that's a little bit different what I was thinking. It might just be the Bitcoin one that they're doing leverage with. It looks like they're bringing staking of 50% of this onto the Purpose. Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, it looks to me like staking and just trying to see if I can see anything in here. I know I had seen it. I'd seen it on the other one, so I did. I don't want to say that I assumed, but yeah, yeah. It just looks like they're going to bring staking to Ethi, and then so up to 50% of what you purchase would get staked. And that basically means that it produces more revenue. So that will probably mean you'll get a bigger revenue stream on here, I would think. With Bitcoin, they're looking to add leverage to Bitcoin. And they've already got the covered calls on it. So, oh, this is kind of peaceful. It's like I'm in the country and it's not freezing cold. Um, Ian says, I had to remove EXE from my watch list. Sold it at 13.50. Don't like being reminded. At least you are making money on it. Okay. Paul says, good afternoon. Damn remote operated Optimus show taking goggles off them falling backwards. What? I'm not 100% sure what happened. That is interesting. Larry, Candace, you said you own Brookfield. I've owned it. I don't currently hold any at the moment. Did something happen today? Oh boy, I want to. This makes me want to go to Brookfield right away. Let me just pull up. That's not what I wanted to pull up. I want to pull up right here, right here. All right, so now I'll go to let's go to Brookfield Corporation first, and I can take a look here. Negative 0.34, and let's look at Brookfield Asset Management. And Brookfield Asset Management only up about 0.07. We'll just drop in. Why not? Why not? Let's take a look at the last year. Yeah, sort of moving. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. So now I need to find out what Larry knows. Hipple, when it's busy at work, I try to get in just to hit like and say hi. I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. Absolutely. World Free Speech. BWLPGX Day, 11th of December in 3 days. Good dividend money. Norwegian stock around $4 Norwegian. Money a bit stronger than the euro. Okay, interesting. Yeah, and I'm very interested in Norwegian. I would love to know a lot more about the Norwegian stock market. I haven't had a chance to really get into it, but I do want to know a lot more about it. I know we've got a few people from Norway who watch the show. So like Nice, for example, is somebody else who's from Norway. So yeah, I do like Norway, and I do want to, and it's actually interesting, guys. Nice was mentioning yesterday that the regulatory body over in Norway is not letting them invest in Canadian split core. So that I thought that was really interesting. Zyborg says, good day to pick up some dips to swing. Hopefully they don't all tank on me. Well, I hope not. I hope not. Paul says that Questrade, the drip share, we're showing up on the weekend, but no information until Monday. Okay. Roy says, looking for another swing to do. Let's see. Tesla is recovering, but the low was earlier today. Let's see. Roy says, I traded Tesla once when the volume was insane, got lucky. And Hipple, let's see. I watched the top ETF video at lunchtime. It was pretty awesome and surprising. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Like there was at least one company in there. I was surprised it was in there. It was fun. That one was a lot of fun. What is the price to buy OTC with Wealthsimple? Good. I do not know. That I don't know. I don't know how they handle that, to be honest. If anybody does know, please drop it in the chat. Let Scratch know. All right. Let's see. Watch the member first video. First screen says year to date, and second screen says 1 year. Is that correct? No, it's all year to date. That's a typo on the 1 year. That's a big old typo. See, this is one of the things I love, because now, I could potentially just fix that, or I'll just put a note in saying that it's supposed to be year to date. Yep, that happens. Yeah, it's actually funny because I think when I made it initially, I pulled it from another video. remodelized it for this one, and I noticed the 1 year, and I went and changed it. But I think when I made the second copy for the second list, I think the 1 year got missed on that one. So yeah, it is all year to date though. Brian, someone was asking about the HHIS dividend not showing up on Friday. I did get it a little bit later than some of the others after the close. Okay, fair enough. So it's good though. It's out. That's all I needed. That's all we wanted to hear, I think. Martin is in the house with a good afternoon. Well, hello, Martin. How are you today? Kiev and Kaz, good afternoon, gang. Anyone can tell me, please, what is meant when a company brokers a life offering? A life, I will tell you, I've never heard of this before. I've never heard of this before. That's interesting. You know what? I want to Google this. I honestly, I don't know. Life offering. Let me see. Life offering Canada. All right. Increased life offering limits and other measures to support. So it looks like an exemption. Let's just see here. Life offering limits and other measures to support the competitiveness of Canada's capital markets and help companies grow, introduced by Canadian securities regulators. Okay, this is definitely what we're talking about, isn't it? Oh, very interesting. I will honestly say I've never run into this before. Oh boy, this is something new. I like it. All right. Well, I'm not going to read all of this here on the stream. There's a lot here to read, but yeah, I'm going to look into that to see exactly what that is. Nice find. That's a nice find. I love it. Mario says, good afternoon, everyone. Relaxing Grains. Good afternoon, all. Wahipo. I get my distributions about 2 days after that ETF webpage says payday is. Yeah, and it depends on your broker. Like I know most brokers give it to you roughly 1 day after, but I suppose there are some brokers that might be pretty slow. All right, let's see here. We've got Vinny in the house saying, for a long-term investor in a non-registered account, does a swap ETF like HEWB truly provide superior after-tax returns versus a basic index ETF? Well, the thing about a swap, all right, is that it's not like when you're looking at especially foreign assets, the swap is not actually holding those assets. So it's kind of doing this neat little, it's a neat little maneuver it's doing with swap companies. And it basically removes that from the tax situation. So you don't have any foreign income, even though you are kind of investing in US, but they're doing a swap. They're pretty rare, to be honest. You don't see that many of them out there. Do they have a tax advantage? Yeah, they do actually. They do have a little bit of a tax advantage when it comes to, and it depends on how much foreign income you're having in it as well. But also keep in mind that when you are being hit with foreign income in a non-registered, you do get a credit for it. So you kind of have to weigh it against that. But what I will say is that yes, you get some of that money back that you're paying through the foreign tax credit, but not all of it. And a lot of times it will depend on which tax bracket you're in and which province you're in. That can have a factor on it. So a swap might be a much better deal in one province compared to another. But yeah, swaps do prevent all of that foreign income. So that's kind of what they're designed to do. Relaxing Rains. Ever since I saw grains stick out of Relaxing Rains, I keep seeing grains, but anyway, it's fine. Candace, non-invest related. Have you tried Binge-Worthy Snacks beef crisps? Small company from Ottawa. I ship them all the time to Edmonton. So tasty. No, I've never even heard of them, to be honest. Binge-Worthy Snacks. I don't know I've never heard of them. Yeah, I don't know anything about them, but now I'm like, oh, well, they sound good. All right. Larry says, as you know, I own TEPCO. Their undercompany is partnering with Westinghouse to build 10 nuclear reactors in the USA starting in 2030. Brookfield owns half of Westinghouse. Yes, that I heard. I know that Brookfield is getting into that as well. It's to me that's a bullish thing for Brookfield overall. But yeah, I had heard, and I think I'm trying to remember. There was news that broke about it a couple of weeks ago, or maybe, well, it's probably closer to a month ago now. But yeah, absolutely. The starting 10 reactors, the AP1000 is 80 billion, and they are going to be signing more deals coming soon. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Rory says, Larry, that will make the PM of Canada richer. Oh boy. Curious says, what is your opinion on AGX.V? I think that's a silver. But let me just double check here. AGX. Here we are. Yeah, here we are. Silver X Mining. So it's a small company. It is a penny stock. I'm going to put that out right away. But it is in a sector that I'm very bullish on. I'm very bullish on mining right across the board. Silver, gold, and copper. Also, of course, uranium. But, let's just stick with the precious metals for now. All right, so this here, let's just pull up. I'm going to pull up the last year. They've been doing really, really well. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I've looked at this one on the air before, but it feels very familiar. I feel like I might have, but yeah, they're moving in the right direction. I like that big time. And when we look at their back end, now this is the one thing that does concern me. Right now, we still have negative return on equity. That usually is a good indication that there's some profitability issues. Not to say that that's, it's not always unusual in penny stocks or new startups to have a little bit of profitability issues until they can, of course, become profitable. But what I do say is, make sure you do a little digging before before you get too deep into an investment on them, just because of that. Like, make sure they have a plan. Or in some cases, and let's go back, actually, before we go back, I just want to point out as well, they don't have a lot of debt. That's a good thing. But one thing I will point out too is depending on when we had their last earnings, and let's go back to the overview. A lot of this growth, if they've had if their new earnings haven't come out yet, like let's say they have earnings that are coming out in I don't know, a week, 2 weeks from now, then all of that growth may not be in there. And they may have already resolved that issue. So that's why you want to look a little bit deeper as well. But I am bullish on silver overall. And if this is a stock that you are interested in, I would still call it a play money stock, even though I'm very bullish, just because it is a penny stock. You got to be careful, because if something really bad does happen, these are the type of stocks that don't have that moat to be able to withstand a lot of big stuff. Claude says, always interesting to compare cover call with their ETF counterpart. So today, USCL 0%, VFV minus 14, QQCL plus 0.8, HXQ minus 2.9, or sorry, minus 2.9. Covered call, not always the worst. No, and there's a lot of factors that will go into it too. Now, keep in mind, when you've got a flat market, covered calls are going to win in a flat market. Or if you've got a slightly bullish market, covered calls they'll do pretty well. They may not win, but they'll definitely keep up. If you've got a slightly bearish market, same kind of scenario. And technically, when a market's going down, covered calls, because you are picking up that premium, it can certainly help sort of buffer a little bit of that downside. It's not going to buffer at all. You're still going down, but it can help. Now, the big difference though is when you got leverage thrown in the mix. So when you're going down, well, it's the same as, when you're going up and you've got leverage, how you can keep a little bit closer because the leverage is helping you with the loss of upside potential. Same idea going down. That leverage helps send you down a little bit harder. So it can sort of undo some of the buffering that you would normally get from covered calls on the downside. So just something to keep in mind. All right, Lord Fubar. Lord Fubar is in here with a hi, gang. Kevin Cass says, wow, Candace, you got way different Google hits than I did on Life Offering. Well, you know what? It's probably because I think Google gets very accustomed to the type of searching that you do. And I think because I do so many different searches on, financial type stuff, I think it kind of goes that way anyway, like instead of, and I think it serves up the more financial results first because, that's what I think. Now, if I was a game player, like if I played games and maybe if I had a Monopoly channel or something, I bet you probably would bring up stuff about the game of life, which is a fun game, but I don't know. But that's just that's a theory though. It's a theory. I think that's why some people get very different results. All right. Larry says, Rory, we like to splash a little cash on our northern territories. Oh, Larry, them are fighting words to us Canadians. Morley says, I put my MSTY and HBIX dividends into just HBTE. At least it is showing green on the screen. Yeah, and I like it. I mean, I still like HBTE, and interestingly enough, I don't even want to talk about MSTE. Let's just leave MSTE out of that conversation right now. Scott says, speaking of penny stocks, I threw 1,400 at First Mining when it was 28 cents. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at your bet. Let's take a look here. So yeah, First Mining. Here we go. So FF. All right, and you threw 28 cents. It's all right, and right now it's worth 48 cents. So you haven't doubled, but you've done pretty well. And let's actually come back here and take a look. So yeah, so 28 cents would have been right about here. So right around right around September-ish. So actually, it's funny. I just happened to pick September 12th, the day before my birthday. But that's kind of cool. So yeah, that can happen. That can definitely happen. It's a right sector too. So I mean, if you are somebody who plays with penny stocks, obviously, if you're in a strong sector, it does help. It does help quite a bit with your results. It doesn't guarantee your results, but it helps. It helps for sure. Rory, USA, nice. And Scratch says, congrats. All right. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. And guys, I want to thank one of you. Oh, just because I just got the email right now. One of you just signed up on Wealthsimple. So you're getting $25. I'm getting $25. Looks like a bit more 60's gonna enter the enter my Wealthsimple tomorrow. So thank you to whoever did that. All right. Let's see. Sophia says, if I transfer my stocks from my non-registered TD Direct account to my Wealthsimple non-registered direct investing account, will I have to pay capital gains? Great question. So here's the answer. Regular stocks, as long as Wealthsimple has them, they can just transfer those stocks. No problem there. No problem, because it's like, it's not going from a different one. Like if it was going from a non-registered into a registered, that's a different story. But in this case, yeah, it would transfer them right away. But where you could run into issues is if you have any TD specific mutual funds. And not all of them. There are some of them that you might still be able to get on Wealthsimple, but sometimes I know I actually helped somebody recently transfer a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it was I think it was from Royal Bank, but they had a couple of mutual funds in there that nobody else had. They were very proprietary Royal Bank, and they had to sell them and transfer the cash in that case. So in that case, yes, you would have a capital gains for most things. Most things you're not going to have anything to worry about. And that reminds me, oh my God, guys, I totally forgot. I was going to look at some stuff last night in regards to, if you remember, we were having that conversation about iScotia, like iTrade being able to transfer from non-registered into a TFSA, and I did not have a chance to look that up. So I just, this reminded me of that. I got to look that up, guys. I'll let you know once I've done that. Claude, I don't know for TD, but Tangerine and Desjardins will charge for the transfer. That's a different point altogether, though. Yeah, so in some cases, some banks will charge you a service fee, but it's not a capital gains. Now, depending on, sometimes with Wealthsimple, and you might want to take a look at whatever promotions that they have, sometimes they will actually absorb that fee that will come up to a certain amount. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind as well. Just something to look at. Something to look at for sure. Ah, boy. The fun of it. The fun of it all. So yeah. Oh, and I still also, I'm behind the ball right now. I am going to get a survey out. I'm in the process of working on it. I want to get a survey out to the channel members because every year I like to I don't like to make changes in the middle of a year. I always make changes to the channel at the beginning of a year, and we got the beginning coming up. So I'm looking at just a few ideas, and I want to get a little bit of feedback from the channel members as well. I also, one of the changes, I'll tell you about one of the changes I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking about the market close. I'm actually thinking about starting it a little bit earlier. So that way we're not right up against the bell when we start. So I'm almost thinking of starting it, instead of 3:45, I'm thinking of starting them at 3:30. So that won't happen though, guys, until after December 31st. But that is one thing I'm thinking, because then I got more time. And then if we do have some big market drivers, we can look into them a little more without having to move along super quickly so that I can hit that bell. And perhaps if I don't have to move along super quickly, maybe I'll actually get the bell on time all the time. That's kind of the goal. Kind of the goal. Oh boy. We'll definitely have to see about that once we get there for sure. So what can I say? I do want to look at something though. We were talking a little bit about 6C, and I want to just take a gander and see. Yeah, they're still sitting. Oh, they're actually not doing too bad today. Look at this. So look at this. They've broken the $26 mark. So that's not too shabby at all. Considering, considering they dropped what, 1 week ago? They technically launched at 25, and now we're looking at 26. So not too shabby at all. Now, we were looking earlier, and we did see that the banks were doing pretty good. So what can I say? What can I say? This one's going to be interesting. I don't know. I don't think we've got, let's actually take a look. We'll take a look at the back end, see if we got a date yet. Oh, we do. Ah, guys, this is fantastic. So your first dividend is coming out on, well, it says December 22nd. So obviously it'll be December 23rd or December 24th for at least one of you. So we do have our first payment date. That's fantastic. I did not know that was there. I just happened to go in and check it out. So that's going to be 21 cents. 21 cents. And then you'll probably see your next one, I imagine, early January, and then towards the end of January, or sorry, towards the middle part of January, middle to end, whatever. We'll figure that out once we see where exactly they're gonna space. But for me, I'm thinking roughly 15 days apart. So if we got this on the 22nd, that would put the first one around the 7th or the 8th of January, I think. Don't hold me to that. They're picking the dates, but yeah, we have a date for that first 6C dividend. Not too shabby, just in time for Christmas. So you gotta love that. You gotta love that. All right, guys, we're almost at the hour mark. So if you got your last minute questions, doesn't mean we're leaving. It just means I'm giving you the call. If you got your last minute questions, get them on into the chat. And like I said, I'll stick around till I'll stick around as long as the questions keep coming. That's kind of the way it. That's the way it works around here. You guys gotta keep me busy, keep me on my toes. So well, that's always fun. All right, I'm gonna have some coffee here while I'm waiting for the slew of questions to come flying in here. Oh gosh, that is so good. I definitely enjoy that. I definitely enjoy that. Probably more than I should, but I'm okay with that for sure. All right. Oh, guys, I have another little thing I wanted to quickly mention. So, for yesterday we opened up the subscriber sponsored video. Paul jumped in on it, so I'll be doing I guess it's going to be a double deep dive on HYLD and HDIV. That, quite literally, the next 3 videos are going to be, well, the Blossom one tomorrow, then either the interview one, or if they take longer, then Paul. So those are the 2 that might switch, but those will be the next 3 videos. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, and I kind of got a concept for Paul's video already. I was thinking this, Hamilton's dynamic duo. That's kind of the concept, or at least a theme. Sort of like Batman and Robin, but they're Hamilton ETFs instead. I don't know. It's kind of a neat little theme. I'm gonna play with it a little bit. I got lots of time to think about it still. Scratch comes in. How does it cost to buy OTC stocks with Wealthsimple? That I don't know. I don't have any experience buying OTC with Wealthsimple. So guys, if anybody have any of you guys bought OTC? Any of those stocks? So OTC, they're basically, I'm trying to remember. It's basically they're stocks that are not listed on a giant exchange. They're kind of more of I think they call them over the counter. I think that's what the OTC on them stands for. But yeah, that's probably why, if there is any cost to them, that's probably why. So they're not listed on the big exchanges. These are, and they're almost, in a way, they're almost like private stocks. You need to be able to get them through OTC houses. But other than that, I didn't even realize, Scratch. I didn't even realize you could buy OTC through Wealthsimple until you manage it. Until you manage it. Let's see. Did you get into NPI for a swing trade? I did not. So NPI, guys, Northland Power, and maybe if I look at it, I might be thinking, why didn't I get into it for a swing trade? But we'll see. All right, let's see here. What's going on? Oh, look at this. Yeah, I missed that. I did say that they were in a good spot. They were in a good spot to buy back in here, and yeah, that's a nice bounce to the upside. But I did not make a play on it. I did not at all. Lord Fubar, the Stinky Pinkies. Oh, what have you been doing with your pinkies, Lord Fubar? Brian says, I thought the Vancouver stocks are OTC. No, they're not OTC. The Vancouver stocks, they're from the Venture Exchange. That's what the V is. So, or wait a minute, I'm thinking of .V, which is technically not the Vancouver stocks. Yeah, Vancouver might be OTC now that I think about it. Let me research. I got more research now. Let me find out what's going on with Wealthsimple and OTC. I didn't think, like, there's a lot of regulations around OTC. So I really didn't think, you had access in Wealthsimple. So this is kind of a new one for me that maybe. Lord Fubar, sorry, you are not allowed OTC stocks in your TFSA or RRSP. That might be correct. That might be correct. Like I said, I haven't really looked a lot into OTC. I read the Canadian securities manuals, and when I was reading them, pretty much OTC was more of an afternote, honestly. Didn't go into too much depth into them for sure. Northern Gal, let's see. Okay, let's see. Your question on the transfer to TFSA. Some platforms let you transfer, but when coming from a non-registered account, it is a deemed deep disposition, therefore subject to taxable gain loss. Well, that's exactly what I thought, Northern Gal. That's exactly what I thought. I just wanted to sort of look up and see exactly the mechanism that, like what I think if you've got iTrade saying, okay, yeah, we'll move your bell from your non-registered to your registered, I think behind the scenes they may be doing it all in one move, but I think they're selling it. You're taking capital gains well, with Bell it's probably a capital loss, and then they're buying it back in the other one. That's what I think they're doing, but I wanted to 100% verify that. Let's see. The OTC are called the Stinky Pinkies. I've never heard that before. I never heard that before. Interesting. Wolf on Wall Street pages. Interesting. All right. Well, we'll see you when you get back, Larry. Scratch says, thanks, everyone. I'm looking to buy Thungella Resources, and I don't have too much time to dig at the moment. I do not know anything about Thungella, but let's see if we can find them. Thungella. Here we go. Thunder. Oh, boy. I'm just going to put the whole word in here to see. Here we go. Here we are. Oh, look at this. This is an OTC right here. Thungella Resources. All right. They're also US. But I did see OTC PK on there. All right. Well, we'll take a look. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, well, for the most part, they've been moving down, but they have seemed to rebound a little bit here. Oh boy, I have a feeling. Whoa, here's something I've never seen before. Something I've never seen before. The dividend is in ZAR. Well, what currency is that? I do not. Is it a Zimbabwe? Now let's find out. Oh boy. What currency is ZAR? All right. So let's see. ZAR is, it's the South African Rand. All right. So the official currency of South Africa and legal tender as well in Namibia, Lesotho, and Eswatini. All right. All right. Interesting. Yeah, definitely interesting. So I don't know. I have no clue what that conversion rate would be to, well, actually, you know what? Let's find out. So 11 ZAR. Oh, boy. 11 ZAR equals CAD. Let's do it this. Let's see if Google can pull it off here. Okay, so 11 ZAR is equal to 89 cents Canadian. So there we go. That's actually not bad. So you're getting 2 dividends a year. I think it said semi-annual. Yeah. So you're getting 2 dividends a year of 89 cents. So yeah, well, look at the dividend yield, 22.317. So yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It is kind of interesting. Now, and I understand, like I know Trump says he wants to start burning coal a lot more. So I don't know if that's sort of helping with the price spike. Well, if it hasn't helped. He was going on about the coal all the way back in here, and it's been kind of up and down, very volatile. Actually, this type of movement in here, that's not a bad thing for swing trading. Although I don't think I would swing trade an OTC company, but Nonetheless, very interesting. So yeah, Scratch says coal producer with big dividends. Lesotho is a tiny country completely surrounded by South Africa. Fun fact. All right, because yeah, I saw that and I'm like, I have no clue where that is. Other than probably Africa. A big, clean, beautiful coal. Oh boy. Well, there might be. I'm sure there's a lot of people who might disagree with you on that. But yeah, coal. I don't. I'm not bullish. I'm not bullish on coal. But um, yeah, I think a lot of third world will definitely use coal for a long time. What would be interesting is, coal is mostly it's a pretty dirty. I mean, when it comes to carbon, when it comes to burning carbon, carbon-based energy, coal is one of the more dirty ones. That doesn't mean somewhere down the road we don't find a way to utilize the energy in coal in a cleaner way. It could happen. It could happen. Scratch says, I think energy will squeeze in the future. Yeah, I mean, I'm very bullish on energy. Like, I'm going to go big screen here for a moment because I'm behind. My whole head was covered up by Lord Fubar. Yeah, I think energy is definitely going to be in for some of its best years ahead for sure. And that's all basically AI. AI needs that energy. And as I mentioned yesterday, AI is not going away. Even if we get a bubble break, a bubble pop, AI is not going away. And I hear bubble. Oh my gosh, I heard somebody. I read an article earlier today, or at least I skimmed, and they were like saying we could be in a double bubble. Stocks are in a bubble and gold's in a bubble. And I'm just like, oh boy, everybody wants to put everything in a bubble. I mean, I think we're in for some kind of a retracement. I think we're in for a bear market down the road. But I don't necessarily subscribe to the bubble thing. Like especially with AI. AI, yeah, I think it's quasi bubble. It's a quasi bubble. I'll call it that. I think companies that aren't producing, companies that are just sort of trying to milk AI, I think those are the companies that will fall to the wayside. But I think all the big ones, I think they're going to be absolutely fine. All right, now Lord Fubar says, Kraken Robotics are on the Canadian Venture Exchange and the NASDAQ OTC. When they take it out of the penalty box and move up to the NASDAQ, that stock will pop. Kraken is a Canadian sonar maker. Yeah, and we've talked about Kraken Robotics here before, and we've brought them up a few times, more than a few times. And I like robots. So yeah, here we are, PNG, and look at this. I mean, just look at today. Today they're up 3.67. So yeah, and Kraken has done really, really well. So interestingly enough, when we first started talking about Kraken, probably a year ago or so, they were kind of that penny adjacent. They weren't a penny stock anymore, and they've really, really done well since then. Now, let me just pull up some of their back end, and here we go. So here's some of the things I really like about Kraken. One, they've got very little debt. We're talking 6% debt to equity. Their return on equity, 11.18. It's not bad. I mean, you guys know I love above 20%, but in a company as new as Kraken Robotics, 11.18, sorry, is not bad. The return on assets is actually more interesting than the return on equity. So this here is actually a pretty healthy number. So, between the two of them, I see a lot of good movement. So this here is a stock. I wouldn't call it a penny stock. I think, yeah, if you're looking for a long-term investment, they're still small. I wouldn't go like all in, but I could certainly see this as being something that could certainly do better in the future. And I think, actually what I think will happen, if you want me to be honest with you, is I think somewheres down the road, this company will get bought out by a bigger company. But that tends to work out pretty well when it comes to the share price, and you'll probably have an opportunity to cash in if that happens. But that would be my best guess with Kraken Robotics, is one of the big companies eventually buy them out. Luke says, hi everyone, I'm still looking at Canadian Apartment REIT. It dropped today because it was removed from the TSX 60. Is that a buy opportunity, or is a stock doomed if it's removed from an index? It's not that it's doomed, but it does usually spell some problems. One of the problems, obviously, is any kind of institutional investors or any kind of ETFs that track the TSX 60. Well, because it's removed, those companies are going to sell it. They will sell it because it's no longer in the index that they track. So here's the thing, and this is this is where you got to use your head a tiny bit. A lot of these ETFs, some of them do annual rebalancing, some of them do quarterly, some of them do semi-annual. So you could see a small amount coming out here and there over the next year. So that may be, well, that would be a little bit of downward pressure on Canadian Apartment REIT. So if you're looking for the future, like, I don't know. I think there's a lot better. I think there's probably better REITs out there, just because once, you're not, I don't think you're going to see a lot. I don't think you're going to see it climb very much over the next year. And even though I've said, I think REITs are going to have a better 2026. This one may be an exception just because of that. But, I hope I'm wrong, because this was a REIT I used to like quite a bit. So let's see. Coal can be scrubbed clean currently. Okay, fair enough. Time to run, says Brian. Have a good day, everyone. And let's see. Saskatchewan has a clean coal plant. This is good news. See, that's the thing. I like the idea of clean coal. And it'd be very interesting to see what kind of carbon is produced. And even so, even if you are producing carbon, as long as you're capturing a similar amount of carbon from the environment, then there shouldn't be any issues, even with the environmentalists, because that's kind of the whole goal. Like, if you're using carbon, remove the same amount. Like, if you're going to put 100 tons of carbon in the atmosphere with your technology, well, if you've got something that's capturing 100 tons of carbon, even though it may be different carbon, it doesn't matter what carbon, it's just net carbon. To me, that's not a bad thing. And, it's interesting. There's a lot, there is a lot of research on carbon capture going on in Alberta, big time research. And, I've seen some of it. So let's see, Larry said, I had to change my opinions on future happenings because of the last few months. Sold a lot of stuff today. Returns for them were 40% and 327%. Well, that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. Scott says Canadian REITs are not doing well. Even APUN cut their dividend. No, true. There's been a lot of struggle. Like I said, the only companies that are, and these are REIT-like. So when you look at long-term care homes, they're doing well, because, well, there's huge demand with the baby boomers getting older. But yeah, a lot of the other REITs are not doing super great. But what can I say? Heck, in the last video, the 0 to 100K challenge, I think I used the word disappointing with RMAX a few times. I still like RMAX. I'm not going to get rid of them, but I just don't see a lot of potential for REITs at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind in 2026 if they really turn around, but I don't think I'm gonna. All right, Lord Fubar, coal is one of the most expensive ways to produce electricity. Maintenance nightmare. All right, fair enough. Luke says, FYI, I'm in Victoria, BC. Will be mowing my nice green lawn later this week. No snow, no frost, no white Christmas. Well, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind that problem personally, but I have a feeling I'm going to have a white Christmas here. I have a feeling. I mean, in fact, Wednesday, 10 centimeters of snow on slate for Wednesday, or at least the last time I looked. Let's see, Candace, my issue is with money coming back when Powell leaves. Do you think all this USA production will be fast enough to offset inflation? That's a good question. That is a good question. Yeah, and here's the thing. Once Powell is done, obviously whoever steps in next is going to probably bend the knee to what Trump wants, which is a massive rate cutting for sure. So it'll be very interesting to see how that ends up bubbling into the economy. Yeah, I don't blame you for being cautious. I certainly would be in that situation for sure. Scott, when the AI quasi bubble pops, we'll run to the reeds. I don't think you need to run to the reeds. Quite literally. So yeah, let's say that quasi bubble breaks. So I said the big companies aren't going under. I'm not saying they're not going down. They might come down a little bit. Obviously, if you're in one of those companies, at that point, I would ride it out if you can, because they will come back. They will, it'll be no different than the last bear market. If you think about it, tech led the way. Tech went down, tech came back. That's what tech does. So tech is a safe bet on the long term, provided you're into one of the big ones. If you're into Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, you're fine. You're fine. Buy Go. I don't know what Go is, but or is this gold? Buy gold. I can do that. I can do that. Larry says, I'm curious who all the tech companies will be partnering with to build reactors. That's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. I know Google has partnered with, I believe it was a company in Japan for a reactor. If I remember correctly, I believe it was a company in Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I thought it was. Trump is giving his citizens a pay cut with inflation. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also talk too of actually giving people a dividend in the U.S. From the tariffs, but we'll have to see if that happens. I know it's just talk at the moment, so we'll have to see. It's going to be the next. Well, the next year is actually going to be very interesting because obviously next year at this time, well, before this time, less than a year now, we'll have the midterm elections. So it'll be very interesting to see what that's all going to look like. GE Varoma for small modular reactors. Good old FUBAR. And the Nightbot. I don't understand why it thought you were spamming for some reason, but what can I say? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Oh, the Nightbot. I've got to. There's got to be a way to turn the Nightbot off from giving spam warnings, because it's like, I don't care. If you want to put 10 of those guys in a single comment, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. 2EFT thought she was done. There we go. All right, guys. Well, I think we're at the end of another show, but we're back here again tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again. We'll see what the market has. We'll see what's coming up. We'll bring some good conversation. Great way to end the market for sure each day. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and let's hope for a little green tomorrow. Unless, of course, you want to buy the dip. Then, hey, all the red for you if that's the case. Until tomorrow, take care, and I will see you later.